Hey there guys, welcome back to ARTFX Studios and you're watching Tutorial Tuesday. In this video I want to start making the intro of the track. As you know, I've already created quite some different elements of this track, which I've grouped in this particular group. You can see everything is turned off and I can basically just take little bits and pieces from that group if I think I need them. So I already thought a little bit about what I want to do for the intro. I have loaded up a MIDI track right here that contains a grand piano. This one came with, I think it was an additional pack that I downloaded from the Ableton Live website. So if you don't have this grand piano equal production, go to the Ableton Live website, sign in with your account, and you should be able to get it from there. It's a great sounding piano, to be quite honest. I mean, that's a little bit how it sounds. Sounds pretty good. If you have another different kind of piano plugin, then use that one. I mean, you don't really have to use this particular piano. So yeah, I thought about something already. Let's create a MIDI clip in here. And let's see, which note are we? Let's open this up a little bit. Okay, I think I'm gonna add a C right here, and I'm gonna bring the volume down quite a lot, because I don't really want that loud piano to begin with. It sounds pretty good. Let's make it 4 beats long. After that, I'm gonna jump to a D sharp. Like that. And then I'm gonna jump to an F. And from that F, I'm gonna go back down to the D sharp again. And to make it a little bit different, I'm going to add a shorter one right there, and it's gonna be a D. Now, we are working in the key of D sharp major, and the C, D sharp, F, and then that D note are all in the D sharp major scale. And those D sharp and D notes together, they really give us sort of like a dissonant kind of character. I can show you. This is the C. Then we go to the D sharp. Then we go to the F. Then we go to the D sharp again. And then we get that D. See? So that sounds really good. Now when I play this, I've made the notes quite soft, you know, because I don't really want loud notes in the piano part. I do think I want them a tiny bit louder, so let's make them a little bit louder. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now for the next instrument that I have added, sorry guys. For the next instrument that I have added, I've got FM8 right here, and I only loaded this up just to show you the kind of sound that I'm going for. I'm looking for some sort of a clavinet kind of sound. Now, a clavinet is basically just an instrument, and it's a real instrument. It's not a synth instrument or anything, but there are a lot of synths that are capable of recreating pretty realistic clavinet sounds. The one I've got right here is a clavinet sound made with FM synthesis in FM8, and it sounds pretty much like this. It's a pretty okay sounding clavinet, but you know, I think this sounds pretty good, and this might really work a lot. You know, you can look around, search for a different clavinet that works. This one sounds pretty good as well. Now, all these different clavinet patches, they're not included in FM8 to begin with, but these are basically all patches that come from the old Yamaha DX7 hardware FM synth, and these patches are basically saved as a sysx format, and I can show you when you click on File, you can import sysx presets. So basically what I've done is I searched on the internet for Yamaha DX7 presets, and I loaded that and I imported those into FM8. And because FM8 is an FM synth, just like the Yamaha DX7 hardware synth is also an FM synth, FM8 is capable to recreate these sounds pretty well. You know, it's not perfectly right, but it is able to recreate these sounds. So if you want to have sounds that come from old vintage synths like the Yamaha DX7, be sure to just download the presets and load them up in here. There's a lot of them, and you can just basically look through them, you know, find something that you like. Now instead, I'm not going to use FM8. Last week, I got a new tool, a new toy in my studio, and I basically purchased a Roland Uno D, which is, well, I've been browsing around a little bit in this, and in this particular tutorial video, I want to show you how you can integrate a hardware instrument into your software. Now, it's really simple, especially in Ableton Live. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the FM8 track because I don't want FM8 to begin with. And in your instruments folder, you've got external instrument. Now, the external instrument, you drag it onto the empty space right here, creates a new MIDI track, and we can now see we've got this little thing right here. If I play on my Uno, you can see that we've got signal, there is MIDI signal coming from the Uno, but we don't get any sound. Now, this basically works like both the MIDI track and an audio track together. So what you get is that this particular external instrument sends MIDI data from this track to the Uno, and then it takes the audio, which is routed back into my sound card, and it drops that into this particular track. So I can still throw on audio effects after this particular one, and it works just like it would with a particular VST instrument. The only difference is that I now have to tweak the settings on my Uno D hardware synth. So it's pretty simple. I go in here and I select the MIDI port. Now I have an Axiom MIDI controller on port 1 and the Uno is on port 2. So I'm going to select port 2. I'm just going to select channel 1 because it's on channel 1. And audio output from, I have 3 enabled right now. The first one is my voice. The second one is my other microphone input. And 5 and 6 are the inputs that are used for connecting the Uno. So now, when I would play this, we get some sound. Now I've already set up a particular patch on the Uno. This is a patch that comes with the Uno to begin with, and it's called, let me see, Phaser Clav. So this is a clavinet with an added phaser to it. Now I really like the sound of this one, so that's why I'm going to use this one. But if you don't have the Uno D, like most of you won't, you can basically just use any clavinet that you have. And if you don't have a clavinet, then search for one. You know, it's really simple. And I can tell you that most FM synths are capable of creating clavinet sounds. So my best bet would be to search either in the operator's presets or in FM8 presets, or search on the internet for presets that contain a clavinet. Then when you've got your clavinet, you just add a phaser effect to it to create that phasing sound that is also in this particular patch. So let's see how this particular one sounds. Okay, that sounds pretty interesting. Now, when I play this, okay, so I'm going to loop this part 4 times, and I'm going to let this play for 32 bars. And during these 32 bars, I'm going to record some notes on the clavinet track, and let's see what I can come up with, and we can pick out the best parts in the end. Let's turn on the recording. Let's see, yeah, record arm enabled. And let's press record, and I'm going to play something now. There are a couple of wrong notes in there, but I can change those if I want. Let's see, that last one was a little bit off. It had to be that one. And there was one more note somewhere in here. That one can go. I don't know which one it was, but... I really like that first part, this part, I really like that one. So, I'm going to take this part, so I'm just gonna move that over to here, do that, and let's get rid of all this crap. Do it like that. I'm going to consolidate this particular one, and I can now look it up and see what is happening. First thing I want to do is I'm going to add the same swing pattern, just to see how that sounds. So I actually think that this whole last part is not good enough. So I can just take this, Control J, and I'm gonna take out that last note here. So now I'm gonna get... So I think that sounds pretty damn good. So I'm going to make these two a little bit longer. Just a tiny little bit. And I think that when I would place these right on the beat, let's quantize this to a 1/16 grid. Like that. So I think that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna drag the percussion group out of this particular group track, and if it wants to do that, come on. Yes. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the first MIDI clip, and I'm going to make a new one. Let's see what we got. Let's just do that. I think that's a great start for intro. Let's go into that group again. Let's take the main drums track, drop that out of the group as well. And let's open it up. Let's see what do we got. Now the only thing I want at the start of this particular track is a bass drum. So I'm just gonna make a really short MIDI clip and add my bass drum in there. So those two together now result in just that. And when I layer that with everything else, I can bring the volume down a little bit. And then right here, I want the So you know what, I'm just switching it up a little bit now, trying to find something interesting. I think I'm pretty happy with the way how this sounds. I might want to add that offbeat one right there. So I'm not totally happy with the way how that sounds. I'm gonna take out these particular ones like that. I think I'm gonna add some kind of a little beat in here at the start. I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. That was it for this week's video. I showed you how to use external instruments and how you can implement those into Ableton Live. One thing I do want to say that is really useful to do is to rename that track that uses the UNO-D preset, and I'm going to call this the exact name of the preset on the UNO. So that means the preset KY number 17, which is called the Phaser Clav. So I can now always remember which preset I've used for this particular track. Now, this was it for this week's tutorial. If you like these videos, then please subscribe to my channel to get as many of these videos as possible. I do at least one each week. If you have any questions regarding this or other videos, or maybe you've got a request for future videos, then please leave your questions, requests, or whatever at Twitter. You can tweet them to @ARTFX STUDIOS, and I'll try to get back at you within 1 or 2 days. Also, if you want to have the presets that come from the more sound design related videos, then be sure to go to my website. On there you can get a VIP membership, and all VIP members are able to download the presets that I create in my sound design videos. These presets are all ready to be used and all mapped with macro controls and stuff like that. On there I've also got some really great Ableton racks, definitely worth checking out. If you have any ideas for upcoming things on my website or on my channel, then please leave them in a comment below. And now, if you want, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week.